to the post-draft podcast here with the Sports Buffoons. You will not believe what Brett Veach has in store for the Chiefs secondary.
Come get on the train.
Wait a minute.
Hit it.
Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. Yo, let's get it going out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on and back again to the Sports Buffoons studios here out of Lenexa, Kansas, of course. We got the full clan with us, JG to my left and Tanner Dawson to my right. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
How you guys feeling?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. I'm still on my sober month of April. Oh, wait, no, that April is over with. So
Right, it's May 1st.
Started May, and I started drinking again. So it's been pretty nice.
Hey, well, you took a nice little break, a little hiatus, and
Yeah.
now you can get back into it a bit. But maybe not the full thing, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's okay to take some things you learned along the way with you.
Yeah, I lost a lot of weight, so the nice thing about that is nobody's fat shaming me anymore. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
That's
sure,
what they're
so.
shaming you on.
Yeah, I believe that, but no, I think it's good, man. It's good. I'm glad with May's here. We're all going to be going on a trip down to Tulsa over the weekend, so
Our yearly guys trip.
we will be doing the yearly guys trip down there, hanging out at the casino and some of the breweries. So we will be doing our thing without a doubt. It's been 2 weeks, guys. Tanner, what's new? Anything?
I just got my new glasses today, new prescription, and man, let me tell you what, I'm a little dizzy with it. I gotta get used to it. Just got it this afternoon, and it's definitely a different view on it. So,
I've heard that drinking helps with that. It'll help you get rid of the dizziness. That's
The blurred vision.
Well,
or
I
the
feel
blurred
like-
the brain fog.
I feel like I'm like 4 inches higher, and I was driving like an SUV style car today on the way home. So
You felt like you were tall driving.
I was tall driving. It was weird.
Yeah, I've definitely heard drinking is good for it, but not cocaine. So definitely don't do that.
We're gonna try out Friday how the drinking works. So.
Yeah.
We got Scott here. Scott, what is up to all of you buffoons?
Scott, I'm used to Scott dropping in like the middle of the show. He's dropping in the
All right.
beginning.
Look at that.
That's crazy to see
What's up,
that.
Scott?
Yeah, it's good to be back, man. I know this NFL offseason time period right now, we're kind of alternating weeks at the moment, but without a doubt, that gives us a lot more to talk about in the show. So obviously, we have the post-draft. NBA playoffs are going on, so we'll talk about that here in a little while. But, man, first and foremost, just kind of how we feeling about the Chiefs draft and how that came about, and obviously taking Xavier Worthy with the 28th overall pick, getting our potential left tackle of the future, and then filling in some depth roles along the way, too, in the secondary, and possibly some O-line replacements for either a Trey Smith or a Creed Humphrey down the road. Just kind of what's your thoughts, man?
You think that's one of the possibilities?
I'm just throwing it out there. Trey Smith was a 6th-round pick himself.
I know he was. I love that pick so much. I was thinking more of our guy that we picked in, was it the 5th? Hunter Norzad in the 5th round, pick 159.
Yeah.
The Penn State legend, soon to be. Everybody compares him to a replacement for Allegretti. That left.
Yeah. Well,
right?
here, what I'm speaking of is long term. So short term, yes. Short term, 100%. He's going to be a role player backup that can fill in many different roles. He's had experience at guard, tackle, and center, as a matter of fact. So he can play a variety of different roles if we ask him to. I'm talking about like 2 years from now, because those contracts are coming up pretty soon for both Creed and Trey. So I'm just saying there's a potential for that to end up being what the Chiefs do a year from now or 2 years from now.
Very possible. You know, you got this guy that's was at Cornell for 3 years, then came into the Penn State world in 2022. Started 8 of 11 games in 2022, and then second team All Big Ten Conference, starting all 13 games at center last year. I mean, this is a guy that has the size. Obviously, the Chiefs liked him enough to go out and get him in the 5th round. So I'm excited for him for that. I loved our draft, by the way. I mean, the linemen, I've seen mock drafts where the linemen we got from BYU, Kingsley Sumatala, did I say it right?
We'll work on that
Sumataya?
a little more as time goes. Sua Matia?
Matia.
Something along those lines.
So
I'm working on that myself, getting that one down.
Like I saw like it's 1A, 1B there for the Chiefs. I've seen mock drafts with BYU guy in the 1st round, Xavier Worthy in the 2nd round, and then vice versa. So having the fact that we got both of those guys, massive win there. Overall, I can't say I'm mad about anything in the draft here.
Yeah. I thought it was different from what I was expecting. I mean, the Chiefs went wide receiver early, which was expected all along. After that point, it was kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I didn't know we were going to go tight end into the third round the way we did with taking fourth round, Jared Wiley out of TCU. And then just kind of the attack on the interior O-line, it felt like in a lot of ways afterwards, just kind of getting those things rounded out. 3 O-linemen, I definitely thought we'd see more potentially in the D-line in this draft, but we only have so many picks to work with. So if we had more picks, I'm sure that would have happened too. So, Jason, what are your initial thoughts on the Chiefs draft?
I like the fact that they were aggressive and that they were trading up. I mean, they definitely upgraded the wide receiver room. And the one thing that I got sick and tired of during the regular season last year was every week coming in here, it seemed like on this show, and we just have to shit on the wide receiver room, just bag on them every freaking week, and I just got burned out on that. So they definitely upgraded that room, and obviously adding Hollywood Brown into the mix. I think wide receivers are going to be awesome this year. When you take the Super Bowl winning Chiefs and you add speed into that lineup, you're probably going to cause a big problem for the rest of the league. So, I mean, that's good for us. And Xavier Worthy, I mean, I don't think he's just a deep threat. I think he's got some nuance to his route running. And, again, they're going to be much faster this year, so I love it. And then the guy that could potentially start at left tackle, Kingsley, whatever his last name is, we'll just say Sally Amu. Can we just say Sally Amu?
Yeah, Kingsley
Sally Amu.
And then possibly getting another 1-year deal out of Donovan Smith might be in the mix here. So I like what they did to the line. And then their two fourth-round picks, Wiley and Hicks. I liked both of those picks. I mean, with Wiley, you've got a 6'6" big target for the red zone. Played 5 years in college, so hopefully should be a more mature player coming into the league, and ran a 4.6 40. So I mean that guy just he could blow up for us. So overall, I like the draft, like the fact that they were aggressive. They did for the most part what all of us thought that they needed to do to upgrade the team.
Yeah, I think Jared Wiley that you were just talking about is going to be a guy that's going to challenge Noah Gray quite a bit this year right here. Noah Gray's been a really good tight end too for this team since he came aboard. But I think that Noah Gray's got 1 year left on his contract this year coming up right here. And so it's going to be a thing where, all right, Noah, I mean, when you do have opportunities, you got to really make them stand out. And I think Jared Wiley's going to get on the field early.
It's not even that. It's not even just Jared Wiley. Remember, we got Irv Smith Jr.
He sucks, Tanner.
He doesn't suck.
He sucks.
He was phenomenal in Minnesota, and then he got hurt last 2 years.
Tanner, Irv Smith is terrible.
Jesus, dude.
Irv Smith is going to not even make the team. He's a bum.
No, he is going to make the team just fine.
He's not as good as Noah Gray, but, he's just there for depth, so let's see what we can get.
He's a guy that can be a weapon when he's healthy.
A weapon? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's the right word that you want to use for him.
He's going to have 0 touchdowns.
I think you get Irv Smith Jr.,
I'd rather have Blake Bell back on the team.
Irv Smith, Jared Wiley, Noah Gray, and then Travis Kelce.
I'd rather have Blake Bell back on the team than deal with Irv Smith, but that's what we got. It's all right.
Irv Smith will be on the team, dude.
Yeah, he might be on the team, but he's not a good player, so that's part of why.
Unless he blows up for you, then you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy.
He's not blowing up for anybody, Tanner. If you had him in fantasy one time and he blew up, you got lucky that day. So
I do.
Minnesota Vikings year.
He was not good.
I do appreciate you, however, sticking up for the African American players, Tanner. For once, I do appreciate that.
Especially with a guy like Jared Wiley coming on.
You've changed your ways, and I do
so,
like that.
Yeah, that's nice to see, Tanner. So, guys, so I just want to say we talked about Xavier Worthy on this podcast before, and he's been my top talked about target for the Chiefs without a doubt. Throughout the process as far as wide receivers go, because I felt like he would be there when the Chiefs pick, and I felt like he would be the right fit for the system we run. I always felt all along like he could replace both what Hardman does and MVS at the same time, and be better at it than both of those guys, obviously. And I think that what Jason was talking about, too, is, he's not just a straight-line speed guy. He actually can run good routes.
Yes.
If you guys watched him at Texas, I mean, he can do a little bit of everything within the route tree, and I know we saw some stats about his drop rate from 2 years ago being around 14 or 15%, and then this previous year down to 5%. It's not going to be an issue. And the reason that drop rate was so high, he was actually dealing with the broken hand injury. So coming back from that during that process, of course, it's not going to be as easy to be able to catch and haul in every pass. But last year with a healthy set of hands, down to 5%, which was better than the majority of the draft with receivers this year. So I just think you're gonna get a guy who's gonna surprise a lot of people, and people are worried about the size as far as the weight goes. Chiefs have talked about wanting to put on about 10 pounds on him, which I think is a great idea. I totally agree with that, just for the sake of withstanding NFL hits. But at the same time, we have great receivers in this league like Devontae Smith, who are also smaller-bodied guys who are just amazing at what they do. And there's been no issue there with Devontae Smith by any means.
There's not.
We've seen Deshaun Jackson's of the league come around too. Just come out and play amazing ball. I think Xavier Worthy's going to be somewhere in between that range of ability. So
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the pick, without a doubt.
Appreciate the Bills trading with us once again to move up,
Right.
and go and get a receiver they probably needed more. So
Well, they ended up taking Keon Coleman afterwards, which we'll see how that pans out. I mean, I know, Tanner, you liked him or whatever.
well,
but
I liked him in the middle second round, not ahead of Mitchell.
yeah, well, we'll see. I guess we'll see.
That was my deal. I was
How all that
like,
works
how
out.
is Mitchell still there and you're taking?
But it is
Keon
funny
Coleman.
because I have a feeling, especially paired with Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy is going to have a really good career. At least his first 4 or 5 years is going to be great.
Well, he's going to have plenty of opportunity there with Rice being out. So
Sure. I mean, we're assuming Rice is going to miss potentially up to half the season.
now, so there's a lawyer guy I follow through Mikey on Twitter, Drew Davenport. Very, very great on this legal situation. He heard the reports today, but what he said is that what I will say is that Adam Schefter had the chance to make a similar statement and didn't. So he's very careful about what he's going to produce out on his Twitter as well on the decision. He still believes, as of last time I saw here, 4 to 6 games, but he stays off the exempt list. So, but he'll continue to monitor the half-season opinion. But however, any signs of valid, Jesus fuck, dude, been talking too much today.
Tanner, once we start drinking in Tulsa, we'll all have our minds.
I'll be
right.
fine. Just
We'll
fine.
be able to pronounce words again.
So basically, he's saying, "Hey, hang tight. Don't get carried away with this new announcement from a verified, an analyst, but that Adam Schefter had the chance and he didn't make it. So there has to be something else within this situation. So there's a chance he still misses only 4 games.
Yeah, we'll see.
So is it completely off the table now that he might be able to serve these games a season from now, or is it definitely going to happen this season?
It's definitely gonna happen this season.
I do want to. Yeah, it's going to happen this season. I will say, if you remember, it was February when I believe Charles Omenihu was still with the 49ers at the time.
Yep.
Had his incident, and then ended up having to miss, I think it was 3 games, the first 3 games of last year for the Chiefs.
Yep.
So the Chiefs ended up having to deal with that punishment.
Wait,
at the
wasn't
end.
it like 4 games?
It might have been 4 games.
Because he came back. It was. I mean, we were.
It
well
might.
into the
It might have
season.
even been more than that.
I think it might have
don't
been
know.
6
It
games, to
could
be
have
honest
been-
with you.
Yeah, it might have been actually 6, but yeah, it happened while he was still a 49er, and then the Chiefs ended up having to deal with that. But it was the very next year, and obviously what happened with Rashee Rice happened. What was it, back in March, I guess?
Yeah.
So it's gonna go into effect for this coming season. It's just a matter, I think, how long. But
And when?
I'm not too worried about it, honestly, because if you think about it, we have Hollywood Brown on this roster. Mr. Worthy's going to get a lot of play time early on. It looks like we're going to actually hold on to
Kadarius
Kadarius Toney.
He's gonna stay around.
And so, I mean, that's going to be your top receivers for the beginning of the
And
season.
then you have what's his face? The white guy. Why am I?
Are you talking about the rugby guy?
Oh yeah, the rugby guy.
Which
He's there.
He's like a running
And then,
back / receiver.
Mahomes is Watson, Justin Watson.
Oh, Justin Watson. Okay.
He'll be on there. As well.
I still don't understand how you can give him more than 4 games. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, he
There's no tox report. Was he drunk?
He
you have the
still
to-
did something wrong. You don't
Do you
have
have
to
the
be drunk.
tox? Do you have the
You don't
tox
have to be
report, Tanner,
drunk to
on
do
that?
something wrong, Jason.
There's no
the
tox
argument-
You
report.
don't
Do
need
you know
to
why?
have something drunk.
The
to-
argument is because it's on video and he walked away from the
Correct.
scene.
Correct.
That's the argument right
But he
now.
wasn't drunk.
Why
he
does
was
have to
completely
be-
sober.
Why does he have to be drunk?
The accidents happen.
So that's
man.
even worse. You were sober, and you did what you did. That's
Was
even
he?
worse.
Are
The
you
problem
100?
is
Are
he
you
walked
100%?
away- He walked away from the scene. And
Are
that's
you
where-
100% that he was
It's gonna be an
driver? That
yes.
he was the driver?
Yes.
100%.
They have a video of him coming out of the driver's seat.
That's fine. How do you know they didn't flip spots and then jump out of the driver's seat.
No.
You don't know
Stop.
that.
It's on video. Well, that's
At the end of the day, it's all about the
end.
NFL and the way that it perceives for them.
Goodell's going to come down
It's
with a
not going
hammer
to look
again.
good on them, so
It's going to be more than 4.
NFL's going to have to.
Just because somebody jumped out of the driver's seat does not mean they were driving. People have switched seats before, man.
Okay, so where's your
That's
proof that
happened
he
before.
wasn't driving?
There's no proof either way.
There is proof either way.
No,
Other
he was
than it
not.
There is.
He was not
registered in his
driving
name.
that freaking car.
It was registered in his name. Everything linked back
Does
to him.
not. There's no evidence that he was driving that freaking car.
It's still his
and he was not
responsibility.
drunk. He was sober.
Whether you think they swap seats and it doesn't matter either way, and he's not drunk,
if he
it's still
gets
back to
more,
him.
if he gets more than 4 games, I am going to be one pissed off Puerto Rican.
I
can tell you that right.
I
the
think he
freak
should get
now.
6, make
I
it a
am gonna
big
be
impact,
So pissed.
and maybe we won't see this next year.
Just because something's on video. Okay, what? You have a car crashing into another car.
Do you think it's AI?
We don't know.
Do you think it's AI of
We
him
don't know
getting
who
out?
was driving.
Is that what we're going to say now? You
We
think
don't
it's
know
just
who
AI?
the freak was driving. I mean, come on.
Somebody
now.
used AI to have Rasheed Rice get out of
No.
the driver's seat?
It
Give
never
him
even
4
happened.
freaking games.
It was
dude.
all fake to begin
4
with.
It was all
games.
fake,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's an AI
It's like
video.
the Boston bombing, right?
Now that could be true. It could be an AI video too. I never thought about that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Real quick. So you obviously heard what I said in the very beginning. And so I did want to hit on a couple other guys that Chiefs picked up in this draft. Jaden Hicks was an absolute steal in this draft. He is honestly my I would say my 3rd favorite pick, because obviously Worthy would be my first. My 3rd favorite pick out of the group. And I just think he's going to fit in so well with what he's capable of doing. Lots of experience, too, from Washington State. And I think what's going to be great about him is learning from the already veteran group we have at safety between Justin Reed and Brian Cook already on the roster. And I think Chamari Connor honestly ends up filling more of that nickel role, at least in the early part of the season. I think he's going to be an every down player, most down player, especially in 3 wide situations. He's going to be out there in the slot.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that's going to be something that Jaden Hicks is going to be playing a lot of special teams to begin with, getting a lot of experience being behind those guys. But I also think there's an opportunity here that if he matures quickly and progresses fast within the defense, this could be the Chiefs' way of, Justin Reed in the back end of his contract, being able to let go of that and save some cap room. And hopefully Brian Cook can then be stepping up as the leader of the secondary in that case, between him and Trent McDuffie. But I think it's a great pick, and I think the Chiefs got a steal. He was actually ranked in the top 75 on most boards out there, so he's a guy that should have been probably taken in the 3rd round. The Chiefs got him in the 4th at pick 133. So good value, and a guy that I think is going to make an impact in one way or the other, special teams, or if Brian Cook is to go down again with another injury like he did last year, which was a freak thing that happened with that foot, at least I feel comfortable and good about having quality safeties throughout the depth of the whole roster. And then the other thing is Mr. Kamal Hayden from Tennessee. I like that pick a lot too. I mean, especially in the 6th round, you go for a guy who's 6'1", 200 pounds, and the Chiefs needed to get some kind of depth there at cornerback. We got Kelvin Joseph still on the roster at the moment, so we're going to see if that can ever come to fruition, if it's going to matter or not that he's a part of this team. But it's good to have at least some kind of competition in there for these guys to come in here. And sixth round pick or not, it's still a body to put in place to be able to push some of these guys into roles that some of them are unsure of at the moment. That as far as starting opposite of Trent McDuffie, we're assuming Jalen Watson's going to be that guy. Josh Williams is still on this roster. This guy's going to push Josh Williams to do a better job at his role.
Yes.
And not that Josh Williams has done bad by any means. I mean, he's a physical corner. He does get called for PIs
There's
here
been opportunities.
and there. But we've been Chiefs fans our whole lives, man. And I've seen a lot of shit come through this organization at cornerback.
Phillip Gaines.
And I could start from way back. And we could go back to William Barty if you want.
Barty.
At least in my lifetime.
Oh, my God.
And so Josh Williams has not done a bad job by any means compared to
Barty.
that stuff. But at least this is going to be good competition for a guy like him to push each other a little bit, see who can fill in that 4th cornerback role on this roster.
Well, it's interesting. You said the 6th round. We drafted Trey Smith in the 6th round due to it was potential injury, right?
From Tennessee, by the
From
way.
Tennessee, exactly. So we got 6th round from Tennessee, a guy that's missed the last 2 years, hasn't played a full season in the last 2 years. But it's interesting enough is the last 2 years he tied the team lead with interceptions. He did 2. They had a team lead tie with 2 interceptions in 2022, and I was played in 9 games with 6 starts. Then he missed the rest of the time with injury, and then 2023 last year The guy tied for a team lead with 3 interceptions, played only 7 games, and then he missed the rest of the year with shoulder injury. Yep. This is one of those weird steals that if he can work out and our training staff can keep him healthy in a way, and he can play his depth role instead of being a main guy, this is a steal just like Trey Smith.
Yeah, I think that's a interesting comparison there, but I like it for sure. So I like what the Chiefs did in the secondary picks without a doubt. So overall, man, I think we're all pretty happy. Do you guys?
Not bad at all.
I mean, would you guys give this a grade by any? I mean, you just I'm kind of over the grades, but if you guys would think of a grade,
I mean, I think
I'll give it an A- just because they were aggressive, man.
Yeah,
and they got the guys that they wanted.
Because you got the compensatory. I need a drink. Compensatory selection.
You need a drink.
Tanner needs a drink.
What are you, an alcoholic?
He can't talk anymore without getting drunk.
We got the trade from the Cowboys in round 5. We got the Bills trade. We got the 49ers, Bills again. Any thoughts on this Holy Cross guy?
Honestly, no, because I did not do any work on this guy before the draft. I don't know a lot about him. Obviously, it's a depth role piece.
I will give you this. He started all 13 games in 2021, 2022, and 2023. He was a team captain, first team All-Patriot League the last 2 years as well. He started at right guard nonetheless. So that'll be, I don't know, it'll be kind of interesting to see exactly what they saw in this guy, 6'5", 300. So I'm kind of interested.
I'm ready to watch preseason, man. You know, I know that Roger Goodell wants to move it from, it was 4 and then to 3. I like 3 preseason games.
He wants to go to 2.
He wants to go to 2. I actually don't like that. I like 3. I think 3 is
3.
nice, and I think 2 is not enough. So, anyways, that's
I want 5.
I enjoy.
I want 5.
I enjoy watching the preseason for guys like that.
I want 5 preseason games so that the guys that are trying to make the team can get more run, man.
Yeah, it will. When it's down
reps.
to 2 games, I mean, you can't play your starters hardly because you're trying to see your young guys.
The only reason it ever went down to 3 and 2 games is because Aaron Rodgers decided he didn't like to play in the preseason.
No,
That's
it's because they extended the season
and the pandemic
by a game.
So if you want to blame Aaron Rodgers or you can blame the pandemic, one of the two, it's stupid. We should still have 4 games.
Neither one, Jason. Neither one.
I want to go up to 5 preseason games. Some of these guys just need more reps, man. Give them a shot.
Aaron Rodgers supports Donald
Trump. That's what the
XFL
in the AFA, whatever is it? What is it? XFL and the.
Did you say AFA?
UFA. AFA.
Oh, the UFL.
UFL. There you go. That's what those 2 leagues are for.
Where are you getting AFA from?
Old deal, dude.
Jesus.
I don't know.
So one.
Needed some drink.
Yeah, he needs a drink. One other thing I'll throw out about the Jaden Hicks pick that I really like is he's like a very versatile defender, and he's great at stopping the run. And the name of the game in the NFL is to run the ball, stop the run. So that was one of my favorite parts about that Jaden Hicks pick.
All right, guys. So real quick before we move on to NBA, I just want to, if you guys are cool with it, jump down just to the first round at least of picks. Kind of give a quick thought on everything went down.
Let's hit comments after this.
Okay. Real quick. So, do you guys like the Caleb Williams pick to the Bears?
Right on the fit.
But here's what happened. Jaden Daniels goes number 2 overall to Washington. What the fuck's going on over here?
Punching my mic.
I think he's starting his sober month. That's the problem.
Jesus. So
he doesn't know where he is right now.
Williams over Jaden Daniels in that case because since they went 1A, 1B.
I would have done Williams over Daniels.
Yeah.
I thought it should have been Drake May over Daniels.
Really, I like Jaden Daniels myself. I actually thought that was a good pick. Other than that team is going to be terrible.
It's still going to be awful.
So Marvin Harrison to the Cardinals. I think that's a great pick. It's just
fabulous.
I don't know what quarterback situation is going to look like over there.
It's Kyler Murray, dude.
Then Joe Alt.
Kyler's a superstar.
What are you talking about? What do you mean quarterback situation? If a trade would have happened, it should have happened during the draft.
It's not that simple with Kyler Murray.
It's Kyler Murray.
It's not that simple, man.
What are you going to do? Start Sorley again?
No, I'm talking about not just for this year, but for the next 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah, we don't know what the 3 years is, but
I'm
next
just saying,
year,
the situation.
Next year it's Murray.
Okay, the injury-prone Kyler Murray that's always got something going on
He'll
with
be
him.
out there. It's fine.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get Kyler his next contract.
That's the D-Hop.
He's going to get.
That's your D-Hop.
He's going to get a big contract next year because of this one pick.
Is that exactly what D-Hop did? Got him a contract. Here you go.
I mean, if you're Kyler, you have to show up or show out at this point. Otherwise, you're going to be playing baseball in 2 years from now.
Let's say that too. Losing D-Hop, making Hollywood Brown your replacement for D-Hop was horrendous. So this is now back into D-Hop territory.
Who drafted him anyway? Do the A's still have rights
They still have
to
rights.
him? So
If
he's going to be playing in Las Vegas if he doesn't make this thing work out with Marvin Harrison.
If you
Jr.
guys believe that, then do you believe that Malik Neighbors saves
No.
Daniel's job at quarterback
God, no.
in New York?
No, his job's done.
Yeah, Daniel Jones is
his
a
job's
bum.
done.
Yeah,
But
that's not going to happen, dude.
I mean, if you guys think that Marvin Harrison's going to save Murray, then why can't Malik Neighbors?
Because
Because Kyler Murray has already shown superstar potential.
time out here.
Nobody's got a big contract.
Nobody's ever looked at Daniel Jones and said, "Oh, he's got superstar potential." They always looked at Kyler. They always looked at Kyler Murray as being a possible superstar.
Did you just compare a Kyler Murray to Jones?
I'm just saying, if somehow wide receivers can save a quarterback.
What is he saying?
You're telling me wide receivers can save a quarterback, and I think Malik Neighbors is just as good, actually, as Marvin Harrison.
Yes,
he's
Malik
biased.
Neighbors is 1B.
Here's what it is. He's biased against short quarterbacks. That's what it is.
Kyler
That's
Murray,
the only thing.
Kyler Murray.
It's not that he's short.
Kyler Murray
He's pretty short.
But it's not. That's not why.
Kyler Murray is tremendously far.
Are you
from
saying he has
Daniel
small
Jones.
hands and something else must be small? Or
Daniel Jones
No,
is bottom, dude. Kyler Murray is a bottom. That's ridiculous.
I thought you liked Daniel Jones.
What a statement, dude.
I thought you
he
liked Daniel
does.
Jones.
He does love Daniel Jones. I
No,
can't stand
I
the
don't
dude.
like Daniel Jones.
He's running around last year going, "Oh, Danny Dimes, Danny Dimes." I saw him.
He's
I was.
He's like an NFL quarterback that looks like Jim Carrey, and that's how he got his contract. Jim Carrey is a good comedian, so you must be a good quarterback.
you know what
so
they did?
We're going to give you a good contract.
They accidentally made the playoffs, and that got him a contract because the Giants are dumb.
Now, did you guys think it was dumb when the Falcons took Michael Penix
Oh my
at
god,
8th overall?
that's the stupidest pick I've heard.
I mean,
No, I didn't mind it, and they've
Why?
been trashing that.
He's
pick.
24.
I
Kirk
don't
Cousins
mind
has
that
a
pick.
4-year, $100 million deal.
Okay, so here's the mindset is that you've got the Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Brett Favre for 2 years. You've got the Patrick Mahomes sitting behind Alex Smith for 2 years. This is the theory behind letting him sit behind Kirk Cousins, who just got that big contract.
So he'll be 26.
It may not work,
27,
but
maybe.
that's the theory that they're using here. So I'm not going to shit on that pick.
That's the
at
stupidest
all.
pick, dude.
No, I think he could
Because you
totally.
go out.
It's not
That
stupid
guy-
if
hey.
Michael Penix ends up being an elite player.
No,
He's going to be.
has to be a first ballot Hall of Famer for this thing not to work.
He might end up
I
being
wouldn't go
better
that
than the
far.
first overall pick in this year's draft. He could be a better quarterback.
You let Odunze, who could have been a fabulous weapon for Kirk, go with Caleb Williams, to go with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, Colt, whatever.
I absolutely
unreal.
don't listen to the mainstream media.
It's not.
it's
not.
I love the Penix pick
I actually
because
like
you
it too.
are
Because
punching.
all I have to do is look in the stupid
You
room.
are punching. What do we do in the draft? We're punching a lottery ticket. If that freaking lottery ticket pans out,
Here's the thing.
and you
Kirk-
let him sit behind Kirk Cousins
In the first
who is an
round?
above average
And
in the
injury,
top
and injury
10?
prone to this point
Yes.
of his career.
in top 10?
it's an amazing pick. Stop listening to the mainstream media.
You
ESPN
don't-
doesn't know shit
Why-
about that pick.
You and I are in
I don't
agreement
ever
on
watch
that.
Yes.
ESPN. Why would I watch ESPN?
Stop listening to Mel Kiper Jr.
Who?
He's not God's gift to football. He's not.
Guys, look at
Just
it this
because he's been sitting in that seat for 40 years doesn't mean that he's God's gift to football.
Why would you go
He
a
doesn't know
quarterback?
shit.
Period. Like at that point, you don't in Atlanta. If you're trying to win, you don't. That's why Arthur Smith came down. Or Arthur Smith, no, that's not the owner's name.
You-
Am I right?
So, okay.
Arthur Blank? Is that
Arthur
what you're trying
Blank.
to say?
The
Thank you.
owner, that's the owner.
Arthur Brent came down. He was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, oh, give me a break.
He
Give me a
did.
break with that shit. He knew what was going to happen.
He did not.
We are all on record right here, right now. We're going to replay this at some
Scott,
I'm
point.
100%
Scott,
fine with
I
the
know
pick.
you're out there, Scott.
Mike and I
I'm
like
fine with
Scott,
Penix.
I know you're out there.
Yeah.
Mike
Help
and
me
I
out,
like
dude.
Penix. He hates him. When Tanner hates a
No,
guy,
no, I don't hate Penix. I hate where he went.
when Tanner hates a
I
pick, that
hate
means he's
where
going to
he
be a
went.
superstar. I'm just
Yep.
throwing that out there right
I
now.
hate where he went. If he would have gone somewhere
That's
more
Not a
kind of
bad
like
pick.
when the Buffalo Bills make a trade in the draft with the Chiefs, it's going to turn out badly for the Bills. When Tanner tells you
I
that
don't-
he hates a pick, that means
I-
it's going to be amazing.
I hate where he got drafted. Minnesota should have traded up and gotten him instead of JJ.
Yeah.
Totally
Couple more.
disagree with you, man.
Back to back, we saw the
Hey.
Broncos.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
We saw the Broncos take Bo Nix from New Oregon, who a lot of people compare to Drew Brees for some reason. And
Yeah,
Sean Payton
no.
apparently, which I actually see
I like the Knicks.
mechanically, I could see a little bit of it in there.
I like Knicks.
I think Nix is a fine quarterback at that point. Of course, he was the fifth quarterback off the
Yep.
board.
better than
um,
JJ. Tell you that much.
Yeah, no, I like him upside wise better than JJ McCarthy without a doubt myself. But just because I feel like McCarthy's just one of those guys that he's had a lot of success in college. That's not all going to translate to the pro levels.
You can't carry a team.
At least on a above average level. I think he's going to be more of that backup,
average kind of guy,
potentially quality backup kind of
start
guy
for a couple years maybe.
But the Raiders were so pissed off at this point in the draft, though, 13th overall. Because they wanted a quarterback so goddamn badly that they just got this. This was a pissed off pick when they took Brock Bowers, the tight end. This was them. This was them pissed. This is their "fuck you guys" moment right here. By taking Brock Bowers because they didn't know what else to do.
They had no idea.
You need a pass catcher. You need a pass catcher.
I called this pick
They
2
wanted.
weeks
They
ago.
just wanted a quarterback, and they're like,
"Oh,
they're all gone." So just take Brock Bowers.
And I love that. That's what I do.
That's what
I do that a lot
draft.
in the fantasy football
draft. Fantasy draft. The Raiders did what we did, the rage pick.
I love to piss people off in the draft.
Do a rage pick.
Yeah.
That's what you do in the fantasy draft. I've done that myself many times. Usually ends up biting you in the ass, but I think Brock Bowers is pretty good, so I think it'll work out long term for them at least when they get their quarterback.
Well, they got an unknown Michael Mayer, and see what if a quarterback can throw to that guy.
They just drafted a year ago, so I mean, what are you doing? I mean,
you had Aiden O'Connell for God's sake thrown to you in a messed up Josh McDaniels offense.
We
don't even know what Mayer is.
We don't know anything about the guy hardly.
No.
At all. I mean, we know him from what we saw in the draft, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I really loved. I mean, the Vikings got great value at Dallas Turner at 17 overall. He was the second edge, third defender off the board.
Third defensive lineman.
Third overall defensive player off the board at that point. Because we saw Byron Murphy from Texas.
I loved Latu.
Latu to the Colts was the number one defensive pick in that point. Do you guys like the project of Amarius Mims to the Bengals at 18?
That's like the Michael Penix pick for me. A stupid pick, something you didn't need. Because you already have a big contract with Atlanta Brown Jr., so I know they talked about him going to the right, but you also got, Trent Brown there, right? I think that's what it is.
He might still be. I don't know about that. Seems like Trent Brown's moved around lately, but I don't know.
It's the Bengals, man. I don't really care too much about that pick because the Bengals' small, tiny little run they had going on there is about to come to an end. I mean, that team is about a flash in the pan. I love Joe Burrow, but the team itself is about ready to implode.
Team is not going to implode yet.
And then, of course, down at 23,
Trent Brown's there.
23 overall, Brian Thomas Jr. went to the Jaguars. I thought that was a great pick. I mean,
then they cut Zay Jones.
Yeah, they just cut Zay Jones yesterday, I believe, or maybe it was today, one of the two.
Yesterday.
But yeah, I think that's a good pick. I mean, I love the pick, I mean, at the same time, it's like this year better be the year for Trevor Lawrence to figure it out because last year was horrible, was abysmal. I mean, the guy had a chance to really explode in year 3 and really shit the bed. And so I'm hoping this is going to be whatever he needs to get himself together and get back to where he should be talent-wise. So I was pretty disappointed in him last year, without a doubt. And then a couple more, you guys, before we move on. We had Darius Robinson from Missouri make it to the Cardinals. For some reason, Cardinals like Missouri prospects. I don't know what that's about or how that happens, but it seems to happen quite a bit. Any of the guys in the first round that you would have taken over Xavier Worthy, Tanner? Because I know you love Xavier Legette, Ricky Pearsall from Florida, Nate Wiggins, or Tyler Guyton. All those guys went right after Worthy. I think Worthy was the best pick.
Worthy was the best pick
of those last
3.
I'm saying last 9 picks, because Brian Thomas Jr. I had ranked ahead of Worthy.
Yeah, correct.
But just right ahead of him. So I think I would rather have Worthy over Arnold, Morgan, Barton, Robinson, Guyton, Wiggins.
Yeah, no. If you're talking from the Jaguars pick up,
I think Worthy was the best pick in that grouping right there. So that's just my
I'm full right there.
My opinion on that.
By the way, what was this Ricky Pearsall pick for the Niners? That one blew my mind. I did not expect a Ricky Pearsall in the first round.
He went a little earlier than we thought for sure, but I don't know. I think he probably had great interviews and just overall experience. Yeah, there was something about him in particular that they thought was going to fit really well with
They think he's
offense,
a smart player.
I don't know. I think there's something about him though that intrigued them. So.
What's your guys' early thoughts here on the Panthers drafting Legette, and you already have what's his face there?
No, you need all the guys. When you're the Panthers and you got Bryce Young there. You need all the talent you can at receiver right now.
I like their coach this year, for sure. But
Bryce Young's another short. He's another short quarterback like Kyler Murray, isn't he?
Yeah, and they got Jonathan Brooks.
I think
forgot
Bryce
about
Young
that.
is got still potential more upside than Kyler Murray.
So Deontay Johnson, Xavier Leggett, Adam Thielen, Terrence Marshall Jr., Jonathan Mingo. That's what
you got to load up if you're the Panthers.
I mean, they got even still Emir Smith-Marset from the Chiefs that we let go last year too. So, I mean,
all right.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Load up.
Well, we got some comments, Tanner, before we move to the NBA.
Yeah, we do. All right, hope I can read them. Let's see here. Scott says my Celtics were dismantling the Heat. What an embarrassment with the Heat. Nothing else to do. Oh, yeah. Scott had a little vocal cord surgery.
Were you able to show them on the screen still, or is that
no
longer a thing?
No longer a thing right now until I figure it out. Starsky. Well,
you need to drink some beers,
we're
man.
not using StreamYard. Dude, we've been using this same program.
I know. But it gave me a chance to throw
for 6 months, and now you're just asking this question?
He tried to stop. Well, here's what happened. Like, I stopped drinking for a full month, so he thought he might try to do it for one day, and it didn't work out so well.
I swear, we've been using this for 6 months. This is one program. It's not StreamYard. And now they're just noticing because they were somewhat sober this month. So, here, Starsky says you're welcome on the Bills trade in their first pick to us. Scott says Drew is a friend of mine, Tanner. Yeah, okay, that's awesome. If you want, I can get when I get better. I try to get him on the show. Yeah,
Tanner, you knew the UFO combined, right? With the exit.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of. So, Scott says it doesn't matter whether you're drunk or not. He admitted he was the driver. He admitted he was the driver, Jason.
He lied. You know what? He lied about it, and there's no evidence. So I want a 4-game suspension, and all these people, they just love to hate on the Chiefs because they're the new New England Patriots. F off, man. You know what? He wasn't the driver. He was lying about it.
Tyreek Hill admitted to beating that woman when he didn't really do it. Same thing.
I want to see some evidence.
Scott says the Raiders turned in the card. It said Michael Penix.
Yep.
If not him, then Bo Nix. If not him, then J.J. McCarthy. If not him, then the commissioner. You make the pick for us.
Yeah. And then at that point, it just goes like back to the fantasy draft where it just says, all right, just top available player. Who else is there?
That's amazing. Starsky said, I don't hate Penix. Hate that Atlanta took him at number 8. They will be in the playoff hunt in the week NFC and could have added a weapon or any defensive player they wanted. Cousins' deal was $200
Why would they add a weapon? They already added a weapon in Kyle Pitts. Are they going to use Kyle Pitts?
It's Kyle Pitts.
Are they going to use their other weapons? Are they going to use Bijan Robinson? What's the point in adding a weapon if you're not? You don't know how to use them.
It's a new offense.
Damn quarterback.
It's a new offense.
Their offense already has weapons.
Yeah, now it's a new offense.
The weapons are.
I don't need any weapons.
The weapons
they
are.
They could have gone down and got the best cornerback in the draft.
They could have gone the best. We didn't go We didn't go cornerback in this draft, Tanner, until like the 20th.
Yeah, Eagles.
Yeah. Why would you? So then that's a reach. Michael Penix isn't a reach.
No, Michael Penix is a reach at 8.
At 8. Okay, but you're saying the best cornerback who went in the 20s should have been the 8th overall pick?
Because there was 900 quarterbacks that went in the first 15.
I'm telling you.
And offensive linemen.
Don't tell me that they need to pick weapons because they already did that. Fix the weapons that you already have. Use the weapons that you already have.
Well, they got a whole new staff.
You got to draft more weapons. That's stupid. You're just
Why? But we're talking about the Panthers, who we say, load up there. But the
Panthers suck.
Falcons can't load up.
No, I don't care.
The Falcons suck too.
Don't talk about the Panthers. I don't care. They suck.
Your purpose defeats.
When Cousins gets injured again this year, and you got to throw in Michael Penix, and he has a great season, just remember this pick. Remember the way everyone acted about this whole thing.
I will.
Okay, just remember all this
when
shit.
they don't make the playoffs because they
I don't
pick
care
the
about making the
quarterback.
playoffs. It's the fucking Falcons.
Because they picked the quarterback over
That's not gonna be why. No.
Oh, Dunze.
That's not going to be why.
Dunze pick.
It's not going to be why they don't make the playoffs.
Instead, they're going to get beat by Chicago in week 18.
At least then they can move on from Kirk Cousins quicker and get to their quarterback of the future.
All right, somebody get him a beer.
8 years, 6 years.
Quarterbacks play till they're 38 all the time
Penix?
now. No, 24 doesn't matter.
Penix won't play till he's 27, 28.
No, he will not. No, it will not happen that way.
Yes, it will.
He'll be playing by the time he's 25, 26.
They play forever, and that's why I take issue with what you said about Trevor Lawrence. You're saying that you think that he's got to take a step forward this year. I disagree with that. Quarterbacks, if they play forever,
you get a 5-year contract.
It's a gradual. It can be a gradual thing where Trevor Lawrence could still have a shitty year, and then still have an amazing year
If he
following
has a down
that.
year last year and then another bad year this year, that tells the Jaguars that's not our quarterback. That's not
fine,
our guy.
but I still think he could be a superstar after that if he just has a
He can go
mediocre.
somewhere else, dude.
I'm not talking
Maybe.
about shitting the bed. I'm talking about having just like a slightly above
Well, he's not going
average
to be out
year.
of the league. I mean, he would
No,
just be.
he's going to go somewhere else.
I
somewhere else.
still
He'll be a
believe he's
starter.
going to be a superstar, but I don't believe that it has to happen like right now.
He'll be a starter. He ain't going to be a superstar. He'll be a starter, though.
All right, was that all the
So-
comments, Tanner?
Yeah, that's all I got.
So can somebody get this guy a beer? He's still sitting over here drinking 7-Up Zero. I've never even heard of that.
You've never
Like,
heard
is that a
of-
real thing? You guys drink
Tanner
7-Up
finds it.
Zero? You guys ready to talk about some NBA right now?
Yeah, let's go
I'm
to
getting
the
tired
NBA.
of your.
Let's
I'm
move
getting
over to
tired
the
of his
NBA.
bullshit, and you're a little bit less of your bullshit, but it's okay.
Time to go to the NBA.
Let's talk about America's team, boys.
talk
I'm not
about
talking
some
about
bullshit.
the Dallas Cowboys. I'm talking about on the NBA side. America's team is
Now, America's team in the 90s, because I'm pretty sure that would not be accurate for today's world. But
Hey, man, it doesn't matter what decade we're in. Doesn't matter what century you're in. It's the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL. And when you talk about the NBA, America's team is the Los Angeles Lakers, which are right now a disaster. What do we need to do, boys, to fix this team? I'm going to give you some names here. We're going to talk about it a little bit. Dwight Howard. I don't know if you heard Dwight Howard's quote the other day.
I've not heard.
So Dwight Howard said that management made a mistake after 2020, and that if they would have kept that core together that won the bubble
I
championship,
won the NBA title.
Dwight Howard said they would have three-peated. Dwight Howard said they would have three-peated with him still on the team. And who was the other guy? Alex Caruso. Is that what we're going with here, Dwight? Said they would have three-peated.
They would not.
So, I mean, Dwight is obviously entitled to his opinion. I personally disagree with that. I don't think they would have three-peated. I think that the bubble championship was a complete joke. It shouldn't even count.
It's an NBA title. It counts.
And-
Everybody was on neutral court.
and
Tanner,
keep
the
in
Everybody
mind-
was on a neutral
the
court.
bubble is not a real thing.
Everybody was on a neutral
The
court.
bubble's
Same-
not a
played
real-
in the
it's-
same
it's not a real-
situation.
it's not a real
Shut
Same
your mouth.
situation, same overall.
I'm saying this as a LeBron James fan. I am a fan of LeBron James. That should not count in his record as winning a
That's
championship.
ridiculous.
Correct.
That
That's
does
so
not
ridiculous. Why?
The bubble's
Why?
ridiculous,
Because he
Tanner.
played in the same situation everybody else did?
Now all of a sudden,
confused.
you've got Dwight Howard out there saying, "I should still be playing right now." We would have had a three-peat like Kobe and Shaq. So the point here, boys, is like I've got a list of names because we want to figure out a way to help LeBron James. We were talking about this when he was with the Miami Heat, and he only went 2 out of 4. We were talking about that. Basically, I feel like we've been talking about this LeBron's whole career. He needs more help. MJ never needed any help.
Doesn't need
Okay?
more help.
But LeBron needs help. What do we need to do, boys, to get him some help? I've got a list of names here. Let's talk about Zach LaVine. Do you guys like Zach LaVine on the Lakers to try to win another championship, or is he just another guy that's probably not going to get them over the hump?
I don't think Levine would be a Laker big market kind of fit. I feel like he's more of a small market guy who makes a big impact. I knew he's on Chicago, but I still feel like it's more of a lesser small market team. I don't see the fit with the Lakers with Levine.
Yeah, I don't really care for it myself either. I think there's better options out there, and either way, what LeBron does need, as far as help goes, is someone who has probably not won a title before and is still young and driven, and wanting something to prove along the way.
All right, so very athletic guy. The problem with him is he only shoots 35% from three-point land. You're going to play with LeBron. You got to be able to hit your three-pointers. So I do think that he would bring a lot of scoring to the Lakers, but I don't actually like the fit. Next guy up, DeMar DeRozan from Compton, California, wants to play. He's always wanted to play for the Lakers. Does not shoot three-pointers, which is why I would not personally put him on the Lakers, but what do you guys think?
DeRozan, I kind of like this one in a way.
Big time scorer.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause-
how are you going to use him on the roster is the problem, because every team's going to use a player differently.
Well, that's the issue. Is
So-
where does he fit in? And That's the hard part. Because, I mean, LeBron can play at all 5 positions. We know that.
Yeah,
he's an aging player that does not shoot threes.
No.
That's the biggest problem.
But he can. I mean, when it's time to score, he can score. I love
Absolutely.
his drive.
I think there's something there with him that could be a match.
He's from Compton, California, so he understands what it is to be a Laker, what it is to be part of that franchise. I mean, honestly, just from a what do I want to say, morale standpoint as well, it could be a dramatic hit for it.
He would be the older player on that roster. I think would fit.
It'd also be a very complimentary player because he stays healthy generally, for the most part too. And he, like I said, he can go out and score 40 whenever he wants. So I'd take it. I'd take DeRozan on that team.
But let me clarify here. You're saying he's a good fit.
Yeah.
I want to beat Denver.
Yeah.
I want to win a championship.
I would take
you
DeRozan.
think he gets him over the hump? Them over the hump?
I would take DeRozan to help. Yeah, get him over the hump.
All right, the one that everybody's talking about, Ice Trae Young. Everybody wants Trae Young in here. I personally think he's a turnover machine. He shoots 37% from 3, 4.5 turnovers per game, and he's very ball dominant. Tanner, do you want a ball dominant star going to play with LeBron James?
It won't work out. As much as I love Trey, and I thought he should have gone to the Sixers when Embiid got hurt this year. I don't think he'd be the right fit for that team. Yes, he can shoot, another great scorer, but like you said, turnovers and a guy that wants the ball in his hand, it caused a lot of. It's a Russell Westbrook situation all over again, right? It's legit what it would be. Somebody wants the ball, the other person wants the ball, they want the ball. You're going to cause a bunch of issues. So I don't think so. I think the Ice Trae would not be a great fit in that standpoint of they're all ball dominant. So,
yeah, he just seems to me like a guy who, honestly, his career has not quite winded up the way we thought it would in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I mean, we definitely expected better field percentage and 3-point percentage.
Pretty sure they made the playoffs the first year too, the Hawks, which was amazing with him.
Right, and Trae Young had a really, really great first year. I just feel like as time's gone on, maybe the pressure or whatever, I feel like he's not become the player everyone expected him to be as far as with the upside at the time.
Point guard shooter.
I don't think he's a good match for what LeBron would need at the time.
All right, moving right along. Ice Trae's teammate, which I've heard a lot of people in the mainstream media, it's not a big name, but a lot of people like this name, DeJounte Murray, who is a catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter. He was 46%. Catch and shoot from 3, which is exactly what you want if you're going to play with LeBron James. The other thing that you want is a guy that plays defense. The Lakers, if you're going to win a championship, you got to play some defense. DeJounte Murray has always been an elite perimeter defender, and unlike Trae Young, he doesn't turn the ball over. He only has that 2.5 turnovers per game. So this is my favorite player, not because I'm a Spurs guy, but because I think he's the best fit. If you're LeBron James and the Lakers, you want to try to win a championship. So what say you guys?
I'm right there with you. School of Pops, right? A guy that can bring a different kind of game to the Lakers that's needed. A guy that can shoot. He can bring the ball up as well. A very great ball handler, and play the defense. Play defense like you said. I would love for Murray to be on that team.
Yeah, he's still young enough too, to where he's still got a lot to prove and lot to do and drive for.
Yep.
He's had teams he's been on that have not been great, so he's experienced a little bit of that as well. So I think that being in a situation with LeBron as your mentor in some ways and helping you coach you up to work within the system is going to be really big. So I think that'd be a good fit. Yeah.
All right, last guy, Mike. I know you're going to love this. Kevin Durant. We talked about how DeJounte is a really good catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter. Kevin Durant can just shoot it, whether it's catch and shoot or we don't give a shit. Kevin Durant can do whatever the hell he wants. The Suns probably need to break that shit up. So what do you guys think about Kevin Durant to the Lakers?
Bum. No, dude. Not a chance. He doesn't need to go to a Lakers team to play with LeBron, play with AD. When you go into the same situation you had in Phoenix, and you get no depth out of it, you're going to cost too much damn money, and you're going to cause too much damn problems within that team between multiple guys. No. He can go somewhere else, play his own game. I don't think he needs to go to the Lakers.
Yeah, the biggest problem with KD I've seen over the last year especially is that he's too hot and cold. You're going to have games out of him. They're just spectacular. You're going to have a lot of the other games out of him where he's turning the ball over way too many times and sloppy ball handling is something I've seen out of him quite a bit. He's almost like he's rushing things and just trying to drive in quicker than he needs to rather than being a little more patient. So I think for me, as much as I love the history of KD and his legacy within the game, at this stage of his career, he's not the fit that I want for what LeBron needs at the time. That those two guys are not going to match up well in their late 30s, you know. I just don't see it working out. So KD for me would be no. The Suns need to figure out their own shit when it comes to him.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me if we would have had this discussion 5 years ago, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But
5 years ago.
Now, when I talk about KD and LeBron, and we're talking about next year, I feel like I'm talking about George Washington and Benjamin Franklin. That's what I feel
pretty
like.
much.
And I mean, that honestly, if we're talking about this whole list, I think it's the worst one out of all of them.
Yeah.
Because all those other players, even though Trae Young is a turnover machine, he's light years younger than Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant needs to retire.
He could be like a younger version of KD, or, you know,
right,
maybe not
right. Just a short freaking
Murray,
player.
Young. I mean, I would take those guys way over KD.
KD this past year was sloppy as hell. When he was high, I loved watching him when he was high. When he was low, it was awful. So that's all I can really say about him at this point.
He's ready to quit, bro. These guys all need to quit.
I'm excited to say I got to have him on my favorite team for a year and a half, so that was cool. But if it's time for him to go and move on, that's fine. I'd prefer him to stay and then Frank Vogel get fired, though.
Did you guys?
That's not going to help you any. So.
Oh, it's going to help us.
It ain't going to help anything.
Frank Vogel sucks. He is awful.
You need some depth, dude. I keep telling you this.
Well, I know we need depth.
I keep telling you this.
No, I understand.
KD, Beal, and Booker ain't going to help that.
Did you guys know that this is the first year since 2005 where you didn't have Steph, KD, or LeBron in the second round of the playoffs?
Wow.
It's been almost 2 freaking decades.
Wow.
That's amazing, right?
That's a great stat. I didn't even think about that.
Mike, I know you're dying to talk more NBA, but you probably should also try to get out of here and go to sleep. So what are we doing here?
Yeah, well, if that's all we got, man, that's all we got for now. So, yeah, no, I do got to get to bed sometime soon, I guess. I took a nap earlier. I thought it would help me.
Oh, you did?
No,
so
I
want to
did.
go?
No,
we go to hard on the NBA.
It made me feel worse. When I woke up, I actually felt worse.
All right, dude.
Which was weird.
Well, I can go hard on the NBA if you want to right now.
So Scott said I missed a friggin' 8-leg plus 12,000 parlay by one Jaylen Brown rebound.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a heartbreaker.
That sucks.
Dude.
Sounds like you would have paid out pretty good money.
That sounds like you got a gambling problem. You should probably call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know Scott.
Scott wants to know if we have a Kentucky Derby pick.
That was funny.
Oh,
So we were supposed to go
yeah.
to Omaha, the Lincoln, for our guys trip this year. And when we found out the Derby was up there, the prices increased big time. So
and we were not going to the Derby.
we were not going to the Derby.
But we didn't realize it was the same weekend as
what we were trying to go. So that's
all right. Let's just do a quick thought on before we get out of here. The Kristaps Porzingis injury. How does it affect anything? Do you think that the Celtics are not going to win a championship because they're still the odds-on favorite according to Las Vegas? They are still the heavy favorite after that injury. Do you think that makes a difference, or do you think that they don't really need him that much? Because he is going to miss multiple games, according to sources.
What was the official injury?
It's a calf injury.
It's a calf injury?
Yep.
So he sounds like
I think he's done for the whole year.
I think he's out. If it's anything
He's done
near
for the whole
calf,
year.
That's a scary injury for NBA players, especially football players too. I think he's done for the year.
Yeah.
Does this put Boston in jeopardy? Yeah, they were already in jeopardy, I thought, in the first round until Butler got hurt.
Really?
Yeah. So,
you don't think they're the odds-on favorite right now to win the championship?
No, I don't.
Okay. So you're putting Denver in there to win it.
I would say Denver, and honestly, if Minnesota beats Denver, I put Minnesota next in that. So, Anthony Edwards is a different cat.
Oh man, I wish Philly could get in there. I don't know if you guys watched it, but go back and watch Tyrese Maxey at the end of regulation.
Oh yeah, he was
that guy. He used to be a budding superstar. Now he is a superstar because of what he did, just throwing up these insane shots. So I wish that Philly had a chance this year, but it's just not going to happen.
Go Chiefs. I don't have a derby pick, Scott. I'm sorry. I don't.
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's going to make a slight impact without a doubt, but I've felt all along that the winner of this is still going to come from the West. And I feel good about Denver still, even though they had slightly down year from the year before. But don't give up on the Thunder either. I mean, that's a team that just went 4-0 against the Pelicans. And I saw them live go out there and put a beat down on my Suns. I'm just saying that's a team that plays good defense, and there's a chance they could make a way in there.
I would give anything to see OKC win a championship.
There's a chance.
One more thing about the Celtics is that a lot of people don't know this. With Kristaps Porzingis in the lineup the entire year, they had a 750% winning percentage. When Kristaps Porzingis was not in the lineup, 84%. So they're actually better. They're better now that he's injured. You guys can sleep on that, but just think about it.
They're by far the best team in the East. They will be in the finals.
They're deep, man.
They're going to be in the finals.
Freaking deep.
It's just a matter of they're going to face Denver or they're going to face Thunder.
Thing of it is, they didn't have a true point guard last year until they got Derek White, midway through the season. Now they've got Drew Holiday. People, random listeners don't even know who Drew Holiday is. That's the true point guard that they were missing this whole time. And, oh, by the way, he plays elite defense on the perimeter.
Yes.
So they don't need Porzingis, but we'll see how it goes.
See here, real quick here. Gary Holland says, "Go KC Chiefs."
What's up, Gary?
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it.
Glad you joined, man.
Scott says, "Put it this way: the Celtics are the same team as last year without Porzingis." What do you think about that?
Same team as last year?
That's a Celtics fan telling you that.
Why do they have an 84% winning percentage without Porzingis on the floor, and then they get worse when he is playing?
Oh.
That didn't make any sense to me, man. You guys are underestimating Drew Holiday.
No, I think Drew is a big factor.
Drew's already won a championship.
Yeah,
he doesn't care.
No.
Holiday's good.
He's on another level versus the rest of the team.
Drew's I think Drew is the biggest upgrade of that team. Porzingis
doesn't have anything to prove,
but
man.
I think
he doesn't have anything to prove.
No, but I think it's just the Celtics in general. I just don't believe that they can get the championship.
I think they're going to get over the hump. I mean, it's either them or Denver, but I'm not buying this. I wish OKC could win it, but they're just too young. They're too young.
I personally I think it'd be fun to watch Jokic win another one. I know it's weird,
I think
but
it'd be hilarious.
I just think that the guy is pretty awesome
it's
to
business,
watch.
Man. It's
for him.
business.
He's gonna win another one and then go ride horses.
The funny thing about Jokic
Can I
is
go ride
that
my horses now?
Yeah.
the thing about Jokic, he's like such a boring fucker, and he acts like he hates basketball. That's the funny part about
so
that guy.
Good at it.
It's funny.
Such a boring fucker behind
Yeah.
the microphone.
That's what makes him funny to me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'm here.
What did Gary say before we get out of here?
Let's see here. He's if feel Brett Veach grade. He wants a grade for the Veach's
grade?
draft. Yeah.
Oh, dude, Gary. So beginning of our show, we talked about the whole draft, and we did a 30-minute kind of a rundown of it.
Yeah, you have to go back and
check
watch.
on that. But
you guys didn't give grades though.
I
gave the A minus.
We'll give
you
the
guys
grade.
never did grades.
I'd give it an A.
You gave an A minus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it
You
an
gave
A.
an A. I'm going B plus.
Okay.
So either way, I liked it. It was a draft. They took Worthy, which is the guy I wanted. So I think they could have done better with some defensive positions. Is all.
Yeah, definitely. Scott wants to know, JG, what do you have on the fourth quarter close game fourth quarter close game problems the Celtics have?
In the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
I don't really care because we haven't gone deep in the
Gary.
playoffs yet. So when you look at when they went deep in the playoffs last year, it was obvious that they had Derek White coming off the bench and they had no distributor whatsoever. Now you have a championship caliber ball distributor in Drew Holiday. So I don't care about what has happened in the regular season. Like, Drew Holiday fits. He's exactly what they needed, and he's good enough to take them to the promised land. We didn't talk about Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray had a great game. He's not 100%.
No.
So if something happens to him, you give the trophy to the Celtics right now.
Well, yeah,
it's over.
And if I hear something happens to
They
Murray,
don't
different.
They don't need
Then it's
Porzingis.
They don't
They
play
play
that series
better
till middle
without
of
him.
June anyway. Who cares?
Right?
I think this is their year. I think they're going to get it done, man.
Scott says they can't win close games. They pee down their legs in those games. So, I mean,
and that was true last year. I don't see that as the case this year. Not with Drew Holiday.
Well, it's not necessarily them. I've seen Jaylen Brown and what's his name?
Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum both shit their pants.
Well,
in the
you've got to
Yeah.
get the ball out of their hands down the stretch. Like Drew Holiday just needs to run.
They end
the
up trying to
freaking
do
offense.
too much, it seems like, and then they just fucking fail.
Well, they got an actual point guard this season, unlike last year.
No, and those guys are awesome players. It's just like seems like in those big moments.
Sometimes
in the past,
too big.
It's been
too
bad.
big.
Meanwhile, I feel like Nikola Jokic is just like so level at all times. Like you're gonna get the same player every single game.
Tatum and Brown have been in the league long enough by now. Michael Jordan didn't win a championship until like year 8 or year 9. So people keep bagging on Jason Tatum. This is his moment. Like just because you failed in the past, it takes a while to get things done in the NBA in terms of championships. So let's give the guy a chance. Now, if they screw it up this year, then I think we have a problem. But Denver's good, man. So we'll see what happens. But I think Celtics get it done this year.
Sounds good to me, man. Well, I'm excited to get to Tulsa here in just be a couple days. We'll be leaving Friday morning, get down there, be there till Sunday noonish, and then get out of town.
And you got your money out of the ATM, right?
Out of the bank, yeah. The ATM has a limit that they set you at. You have to have it all out there. So I'm ready to get down there and have some fun with it. But I will not be giving any money to any strippers this time because they are bad news bears.
Well, you would have come out ahead on that trip. You made money.
No, I know,
at the
but
tables.
Somehow
He made money at the tables. He gave it all the strippers.
You asked them if they wanted a DP, and so we walk over there together. And the next thing I know, I'm getting charged $200-something.
Well, here's the thing. I'm like the Celtics now. I'm a little bit older. I'm a little bit wiser. I'm like the Celtics.
We've learned our lesson with that.
I fucked up in the past.
Oh, you guys
at these strip clubs.
What you do, man.
Now I've learned my lesson.
God.
I'm not going to ask for the DP the next time I go to a strip
Good.
club.
I don't want to be a part of it.
That's what Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown need to do on the court.
Yeah.
Stop fucking it up so much.
Yep, I totally agree with that. So.
Somebody bail Mike out. Bring jail money.
JG is getting his money out right now, so he's gonna have to bail the bail money.
Scott, I think I'm gonna go track Phantom for my Derby horse, 20-1 odds. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Track Phantom. You just making up names.
It's the name of the horse.
Whenever he first asked that question, I was just gonna make up a random name because that's what it seems
I looked it up. I think that's the coolest name on the list right now. So.
Oh boy! All right. Well, we'll be back with you guys again soon. Surely lots to talk about. We'll talk about some rendering stuff probably. There was a Chiefs rendering we'll talk about in 2 weeks with you guys that came out, possibly going to Kansas. And so the images I saw made me a little happy in the pants. I thought it was a good idea. So
apparently they won't even talk about it in the Congress for two more weeks. So we might have news by then.
Mr. Frank White, though, we'll talk about this a different day.
I like that term, man. Happy in the pants. Can we make that a national day? Can we make a national Happy in the Pants Day?
Happy in the Pants Day.
That's better than what they've been doing the last time we talked about that stuff, man.
Damn, we no time for this national day. It better be good. If it's not good, we're getting out right away. Then I got to go to bed.
Oh, it is a good one. National Interpreter Appreciation Day.
Interpreter Appreciation
Let's
Day?
talk about Otani and his interpreter and how much more he lost to casinos.
I thought you needed an interpreter for when you're sober.
Yeah, that's true. It is Law Day today. Silver Star Service Banner Day, National Chocolate Parfait Day, and National Mother Goose Day, National Skilled Trades Day. You're skilled trade, right?
Yeah, Chocolate Starfish Day.
Yeah, there you go. It's National Skilled Trades Day.
Well, I guess I did work today and did skilled trades.
May Day, of course. There you go.
Yeah.
Mother Goose Day.
It's nice to be recognized again, for once. Because I had a job there for a little while before my most recent one. And
take that money.
Not
Don't
fun.
tempt me, Scott. I'll run out this door.
So, skilled trades, though, they require early morning bullshit. So
the Tulsa trip scares me now. That's what Starsky just said.
Oh, it's normally something.
He's gonna meet us down there, dude.
The Tulsa trip. The Tulsa trip tends to be something weird happens every time.
We're gonna teach him how to play cards at the casino. casino and make a shitload.
Teach him how to
We're
play
just-
cards. There you go.
We're gonna behave ourselves because we're in our 30s now. and
Starcy, come down.
40.
You can hang with me. I'll be
I'm
at the bar.
almost 50. What are you
You've
talking
been 40
about?
this whole time. Holy
I've
shit!
been 40 this whole freaking time, bro.
Mike, you're JG's interpreter, right? So
Interpreter. I'll do my best, but depends on how many drinks he's had.
speak JG. All right, guys, let's cut
All
it.
right. Sounds good to me. Well, we'll be back in here in 2 weeks, and we'll get back with you guys again. And hopefully some badass news has come about. Hopefully we have a NFL schedule release coming up here in 2 weeks,
there you
which I
go.
have a feeling that's going to be the case. And so that'll be fun to discuss. We talk about the Chiefs opening game week 1. The yearly, it's kind of becoming a yearly thing now. Tanner, the Chiefs open the NFL season on national TV on Thursday night. So we get to have that again.
Maybe this time will be different.
Yeah, well, we want a different outcome at least. So
No,
yep,
many drop
sounds good to me.
balls.
So, all right, guys, I'm gonna
Holy shit.
get out of here and go to bed.
There's money in
So
here.
I will see y'all on the next one.
Outro.
See you guys.